Hey you guys, this is Haley of Lovely's Hair, and I'm back today with another video. And today I'm gonna do something I normally don't do, which is box braids. It's that season where I don't feel like worrying about my hair. So here goes nothing. I'm gonna show y'all how I do my box braids and definitely get a feel for what I'm doing today. I'm gonna pull up a little video about basically what hair I'm using in the story about that, but basically this is just a wing it, pull it together look, just so I can not have to worry about my hair, but I definitely will give y'all tips and tricks on what I'm doing. So I'm starting off with an old twist out. I had this in for about 3 days, so my hair is still very moisturized with good LOC leave-in oils and a cream, but I am spraying some water to just bring that back to life in my hair. You see now I'm doing the partings. I'm doing I'm going to do 3 sections in my hair. I'm starting off by doing a parting down the middle and then on both sides of my hair, just to make sure I have clean sections to work with and I don't have to think about basically tackling my whole head at once. I can think about it in sections. Here is the products that I'm using for this. This is the Design Essentials Coconut Monoi Defining Gel, which is a favorite of mine. I also have a bottle of water with a dash of oil for moisture. And I do need some combs just to get through my head. I have a wide tooth one, and I also will be using a thinner one just to make sure I'm doing clean partings. I need scissors, and that's just to cut the strays in my hair. And then we just start creating our parts. The first parting is going to be my front. I'm doing a diagonal part across just so I can create my sections. I do go over it just a couple times just to make sure it's clean, and I do triangle sections when I do my braids. That's just my own preference, but here is how we create the braid. First I need hair, so I use 5 different colors with this style. I use number 1, which is like a darkest brown, and then I use number 2, which is like a chestnut brown, and then the third color I use, mind you, this is all the hair I had left over in my house. It was a warm brown, and that is definitely like a chestnut one too. And then I use the honey blonde, which is like a number 27. And I also used a platinum blonde, which is what really is most pronounced through this style, just because of its brightness in comparison to all the other colors. So get that, detangle that, get that. And now this is how I create the braid. You have to do 3 strands of hair to actually do an extension braid. So if you see here, I have all the colors together, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the hair into 2 strands. And I have to make sure there's multiple colors in both strands just because I don't want it to look stripy. I want it to look like very blended. But one strand has to be 2 times the size as the other one, just so you can get equal parts. So you have 1 small and then 1 large. And the small one, you're actually going to cross over the large strand, just like that. And then you close it out. You grab the 2 large strands and connect the 2 small strands to create 3 strands in total. Now you see there's 3 large strands that we're working with now. Now it's time to braid. Now with this, you just grab the braid that you created and the middle section, which is where the loop is, that's where you're going to grab the middle section of your hair. Now that's going to help you to start the foundation of your braid. Once you grab that middle section, you connect the left side with the right side based off the strands that are in your hand, and you begin to braid. Now if you know how to braid, this should be pretty simple once you get your hands in the right position. I always finger through the hair between the braid just to make sure it doesn't tangle. That's just essential so you don't end up with a huge knot on the hair as you're braiding. So as you can see, it's just a standard braid after we connect it. Just braiding down, and as I continue to go down the strand, I'm kind of twisting as I braid, and that's just to connect my natural texture into the hair so you don't see like really puffy strands But basically, I just continue to braid. I braid all the way down, because this hair is very, 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 very long. I don't know if you noticed, but yes, very long. Now we're going to move into the next section. We're going to part another triangle parting. And once we get that parting created, I want to add some moisture with that Design Essentials Coconut Monoi, just to keep it very moisturized, putting that on the ends to seal it. And then we do the same thing where we have the two strands, one small and one large. We twist the small one over the large one, and we connect that so we have three strands to work with. And we're going to do the same exact system. Once we create those strands, you want to pull it to make sure it's secure and tight in your hand. You start the braid. And basically, with that middle strand is just starting in the middle of the braid, and the opposite ends are connecting on the opposite ends of the section. So it should fall in line with how you would normally braid. You just basically have extensions that you're pulling through as you braid. So hopefully it's seamless for you. If you're used to braiding, this should be very familiar. Basically, all we're doing is adding the extensions. Now, as I go down the braid after the root is secure, I do always twist each strand as I braid. So you can see there's kind of a turning motion of my hand as the strands go down as I braid. And that just is really locking in my texture. So it's not like really poofy hair busting out of the braid. It's actually going to follow through with that sleeker texture of the extension hair. So I just continue to braid down, 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 just like I did the other section. And we just continue to do this through my head. And I don't really do anything different besides in the front. I do use edge control, and that's just to make sure like it's sleek in the front, of course. We don't want all the crazy like little frizzies pooping out. And you know me, I have 4C hair. It's very kinky, so you know that edge control really does me justice. But basically, I'm doing the same type of braid, same type of situation. And I know a lot of people do their box braids differently. So that's why I did want to do this video, because I found that a lot of things have changed. People are doing the rubber band method at the root now. For me, I stick with the classic. I start with the braid at the root. But 4 hours later into it, this is how far I've gotten. I've gotten pretty darn far. I have a huge middle section still, but my hair is thick, so I'm just working through it. I add additional moisture where it's needed, spray some water through, and that's just really just to help to make sure my hair doesn't feel all dry and brittle as I'm braiding it. But yeah, you guys, I'm pretty much done now. All I have to do is seal these ends. I'm very happy with these braids. We just gotta make sure it looks clean now, make it look finished and not just braided and crazy. So as you can see, my ends are kind of frayed, so here we go. Now that these braids are done, I am gonna dip the ends in hot water to seal them and also to give them a little bit more love than this, because as you can see, they look crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to braid them up so they have a little bit of wave at the ends, and then dip them in hot water. Now when I braid these ends, I am doing pretty large sections because I don't want it to be very tight and crinkly. I want it to have more like a loose wave, something like a goddess lock end, and nothing like very, very tight. So yeah, I'm doing these loose braids around my head. Boiling hot water. Now I gotta be careful to do this and not burn myself. This part takes a lot of focus because it's never fun when you burn yourself. Like, it's just a chain reaction when you burn yourself because you'll end up dropping the pot. You know, it's just not good. So just always make sure you take your time when you do this part. Ladies, do not try this at home if you are rushing. But yeah, I'm speeding it up, but definitely I took my time with it. And after I dry them out, I'm going to unravel them. So you can kind of see now the ends were created with a nice smooth finish. Definitely wavy, not crinkly, just a nice smooth wave. I think I love them. Kind of cute. Kind of cute. Nothing crazy, nothing perfect, just nice and structured ends. I'm doing my best to show you guys the back of my hair, but as you can see, they're pretty long, so it's kind of hard to show you everything in one shot. So this is the finished product of my braids. Sadly, I cannot show you guys the whole thing in one shot because they are so long. They're like hip length. I will try to add a picture so you can kind of see how it looks in frame of my body, but this is my side part. I'm very fond of side part. I did do 2 all platinum braids in the front just because I feel like it did create a certain, like, you know, character to the braids. See, these are them. Different parts. I do prefer triangle parting just because I feel like as they get older, it does fill in the space in between the braids instead of it just looking like blocks. Makes it look less broody when it grows out. But these are my braids. I think I love them. It is going to take me a while getting used to the platinum hair because, you know, it's such a statement. But all that to say, I'm in love with these braids. I hope that you guys like them as well. I'm Haley of Lovely's Hair, and I appreciate you guys watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful in one way or another. Either way, I enjoyed showing you guys how I do my box braids. Here's a little spin so you guys can see the movement and the slayage of these braids. I am madly in love with the outcome, and I thank you guys for watching. Again, this is Haley of Lovely's Hair. I love you guys.